Hey everyone, have I here been a video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle? Well, I have to talk about it, right? Last night we ended up getting the information on the Super EZA coming to the JP version of the game and hopefully soon to the global version of the game as well. But with that, if you're new to my channel, like, subscribe, comment below, do all that good stuff. Let's go ahead and dive into this here. It's very exciting news. You know what? Dokkan has been doing a good job in upgrading its game for basically as many years as it's been in existence, right? The first EZA was a brilliant idea, and now they are basically doing the same thing on this Super EZA. So coming in version 5.180. And this is something that we expected because we ended up getting some information on this prior to this announcement. But in the in-game news, they talked about this level super that's going to appear in the EZA, meaning that's basically going to be a harder stage that you're going to then attempt to get these medals here and awaken this already Extreme Z Awaken. So you still have to EZA unit, then you Super EZA unit on here. And of course, they're showing the first EZA of Dokkan, and that would be the AGL Super Saiyan 3 Goku. So I really like the look of it. You know, like the icons here, the EZA version here, and I'm sure there's a kanji here that means super, right? So basically it says for more details, check the announcement when the level super is released. And it's going to be interesting to see what or how the gameplay for you to complete and capture these medals is going to be. So let's talk about EZAs in general, right? Because this is, again, a very, very important thing that Dokkan is doing in keeping old units more relevant. So what they ended up doing on the original EZAs, right, was they were able to increase the leader skill. Now, I would say leader skill is the least important or at least effective thing that they do in EZAs, because leader skills in general, you're running the top tier Dokkan Festival exclusives, the Carnival LRs, things of that nature, and it's not as important as the other things that you see on the EZA, which is increasing the levels, the stats, the SA, the super attack, which I will go into a little bit more detail there. And then, of course, the passive, upgrading the passive is very, very, very important. So when it comes to TURs, again, the leader skill, not as important. I would say no one really uses the TUR leader skill, right? So the level you increase from 120 to 140, which then ultimately increase stats, which again, the stat boost is widely beneficial. And then of course the SA super attack, which goes from 10 to 15. Now I will talk a little bit further on why that's important as well, but TUR, Extreme, Z Awaken super attacks are actually the highest multiplier in the game currently. All right. So again, just for you to kind of think about that. So, and then finally is then the passive skill, which of course is the most important out of all these, meaning how effective that this unit's actually going to be. Now, when you go ahead and move on to kind of comparison, the LRs, right? This is just the general TURs. You get the increase the leader skill, not by a huge amount, no increase in level, no increase in stats. Okay, so that's something that they chose not to do because LR stats were already pretty high. The increase into the SA multiplier up to 25, and then the passive skill is the most important thing in the EZA. So when you're looking at TURs, which is generally what the first super EZA is going to look like, then you might consider, you think they're probably going to maybe, increase it to possibly like a 150 level. And then even possibly to a 20 super attack, which other TURs actually have in the, what am I thinking here? The super strikes, right? The super strikes end up getting the 20 SA for TURs. So I would say this is possible that they're going to do this. And then again, not a confirmation. This is speculative here on the super EZA. Now, why is that important when it comes to the super attack? I was talking about that here with the 15 to 25 and then even possibly to 20 here. I don't know if you can see this, but this is the chart for SA multipliers, right? And right here, you can see SA 20, right, is the highest. Where is it? SA 15 is I shouldn't say it's the highest then, it's actually equal. So the Supreme SA20 and then the Immense SA15 are the highest SA multipliers in the game, even higher than the EZA multiplier, which is 620. I don't know if you guys even see that. So let me try to make it bigger here. So this chart here shows Supreme, Immense, 630, 630 for SA15, and then SA20. And then when you go down to SA25, move it over here, it's only 620, right? So big difference in the SA multiplier. That's where it starts, right? That's where, you know, your increase in super attacks, right? It raises attack. That's what it's raising. It's raising this multiplier, not anything where it comes to the passive. So again, if they were to boost, right, they were to add on this grouping right here from 630 to, I don't know, 700 or something like that, to immense damage SA multiplier for SA20, right, we can see the next level of that EZA, which I think it's reasonable for them to go ahead and do so. Now, also, when you're looking at possibly super EZA to LRs, then we might see an additional row that kind of goes from here, 620 to, I don't know, maybe 680 or something like that, right? So now let's talk about, again, if they were to increase it, 150 to 120, increasing stats. So that's what we're hoping. Let's talk about then the possibility for them to actually EZA the Super Saiyan 3 Goku here, right? So this actually EZA'd back in November 20th, 2017, right? So a long time ago. You can even look at the EZA stats here. You know, defense 70% at start of the turn, attack 120 for 7 turns. That's it. That's all this EZA actually has. This isn't even their before EZA stat right here. So very, it looks like it's, you know, it hasn't EZA yet, right? So because if you don't remember back in the day, these units were actually had a flat stat increase. I don't actually know the numbers here. Maybe it was like 3,000 or 4,000 flat stat increase, so versus a percentage increase. So it's pretty wild there. And then of course the stats are here at 18,000 for HP, 18,000 for attack, and defense 13. Now, if they were to increase, so let's say the super EZA were to increase stats, maybe increase the level from 120 to 140 to maybe 150. Maybe they don't increase stats. They might not increase stats. They're just like how they do with the EZA to LRs, right? It might be just a pure super attack and passive increase or upgrade. But let's say they do. Let's say they do like go to 150, and maybe it's a flat increase of 1,000 across the board. Maybe they do something like that, 1,000, maybe even 2,000 across the board. That would be pretty nice. And if this increases to, you know, 20,000, 20,000, and 15,000, right? Very, very good stats. That's LR stats right there. And then of course increase their passive and super attack. So making this unit absolutely more relevant, usable at this point in time, versus what it was before. As you can see, unusable right here. So they, you know, add some damage mitigation, add some crit, add, you know, all that good stuff that we're looking for on units right now. So of course, you know, they can even add like 270% defense at this point in time, and then 220% attack for no turn limitation. But you know, they can do a lot of different things because this is kind of a blank slate. Now, I guess the biggest question is, well, after they do this, what should be on the docket on other units that are going to be super EZA'd? Well, you know, I've done these timelines, you know, way back when, so I just kind of picked up the slide here, and so the unit that we're talking about of the EZA for Super Saiyan 3 Goku is a part of the grouping of what we call OG 3000s. These were units that had a leader skill of you know, plus 3,000 to its type advantage, right? And you have, you know, Cell, you have Gohan, you have Broly, you have full power Frieza, and then you have, of course, Gogeta, the original GOAT of Dokkan from the first year anniversary. So those are the first grouping. Then you had your type advantage boost there. Then you have your Neo Gods and Demigods. So these would be the first groupings of EZAs. Now, how quickly do they think they're going to EZA or super EZA these units? Because there's a lot, right? There's a lot more units now than they were, in the past. Are they going to, have the same timeline they did for, traditional EZAs? I'm not sure, but we're still going to be having regular EZAs because there's a ton of units that haven't EZA'd yet, along with the Super EZA. So again, very smart decision for them to make some older units more relevant, so that you have more of a mix of units that you can actually use, and then some players that are fairly new to the game, we still have newer players to the game, they might have not even summoned for these types of units here. Some people don't have Super Saiyan 3 Goku. It hasn't been on a banner in forever, right? So it's been provided for you for free for like red gems and things of that nature, but those are going to be actually more valuable. So if you are an individual and you don't have some of these, at least this grouping, right, I would say all these are available for free with using the red dragon stone on certain celebrations. You might want to pick them up because they most likely will super EZA maybe within the year or so, right? So anyway, that's kind of where we're at right now. I think they're doing a good job. Getting now is the road to 10-year anniversary. We can say it now. It's the road to the most important. Not only we got the sync coming up prior to it, but the 10 years of Dokkan, which I couldn't imagine what they're going to be doing if the 9-year anniversary was how incredible it was for their 9-year anniversary this year, what the 10-year anniversary is going to look like next year. So anyway, tell me what you guys think about the EZA. What do you think they're going to actually do to it? Are they going to actually increase the level and stats and, super attack into, SA20? What do you expect for them to go ahead and do? So let me know in the comment section below. If you're new to my channel, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Thank you all for watching. Keep on Dokkaning. We'll catch you next time. Later.